y'all, welcome back to my channel. Wanted to get on here today with another kitchen empties, and I'm just going to jump right into this, but I again am doing this with the lovely Ellis for Living. We're going to show y'all what we've gone through in our kitchen. Now I want to start this by saying I don't always save my meat packages, my wrappers, and I don't always save my produce. I don't remember, and it kind of grosses me out to keep chicken wrappers for that long. So I eat a lot of meat that will not be represented here, but I'm going to link down below my grocery haul that I just did, and you'll see all the meat that I like to eat if that interests you. And I'll also start with how I eat. I call it low carb, but it's not really. It's moderate carb. I'm on Atkins maintenance, and that is about 50 to 100 for me. I'm also gluten-free. I recently thought, is that really doing anything for me? And I went back on gluten. I got my tremors back. My body ached, my face was puffy, so I'm definitely gluten-free, moderate carb, and I watch my calories, about 1,000 to 1,200 a day. And I think that is all the information you need to know, and I'm going to jump right into this. Okay, first I went through a Siete grain-free tortilla chip. These are probably my favorite gluten-free chip. They're delicious, very limey. My friend Carol told me about these a long time ago, and I love the ingredients on these. Cassava flour, which is the yucca plant, avocado oil, coconut flour, ground chia seed, sea salt, citric acid, lime powder, and lime oil. They don't have anything harmful, so I love these. I get these at my health food store. Okay, I went through a gluten-free oven-ready lasagna. We need a moment of silence for this lasagna. It is so delicious. I fed this to my niece Keely and her son, my son, and my husband. None of them knew it was gluten-free. It is delicious. And I use a recipe off an old Skinner box from a long time ago called Rosemary's Lasagna. It is delicious. You will not even know. My husband didn't know, and he is a picky eater. Okay, then I have this monk fruit. And I honestly have not researched monk fruit, but I think way in the distant past, I heard that this is supposed to be good for you. Does anybody know about this? I could research it, but just tell me. I like it. I don't feel like it's a real strong sweetener. Like, I might have to use twice as much of that as I would sugar, so it would be very expensive long-term to bake with and things. I don't know really that much about it, but I like it. I use that sometimes, Sweet and Low sometimes, and Splenda sometimes. I kind of shift around. Then I have a Real Good Pizza in here. Delicious. Susan W., thank you so much for the Real Good Pizzas. She told me about these about a year ago. They have a chicken crust. They are true low carb, 4 grams per serving. This is 2 servings, so 8 total. And it does have a little bit of a different taste than pizza, but it's low carb. So after you get your taste buds acclimated to it, it's delicious. Okay, then I have an RX bar. This one is the chocolate cherry. I love these. Not so much for the taste, because yes, I would rather have chocolate. But this is good for a health food, and I love the ingredients. It's got dates, almonds, egg whites, cherries, chocolate cocoa, and natural flavors. 210 calories and 23 carbs. When I feel like I need extra carbs before I get on the bike, or just anytime, I will grab one of these. Those are kind of chewy. Hang on, I'm gonna grab another one and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, this one is a banana chocolate walnut, and this is what these look like. They look like that, and then they're chewy like that. So, you know, no, probably not as delicious as chocolate. I don't consider it a treat, but I do consider it nutritious for myself and healthier than probably an Atkins bar. And then I have one of those banana chocolate walnut ones, and those are really good. I think that may be my favorite flavor. Okay, next I have a box of Atkins bars, and this is the chocolate caramel mousse. I love to eat one of these with an apple. I don't have these daily, and I honestly don't go through these very fast anymore because I try to stay off too much processed food, and this is definitely processed food. I know these have a lot of, I think, sugar, alcohol. I honestly don't know that much about it. I do know these do not set off my cravings, and they don't bloat me. And they just don't do that much to disrupt me. I love my Atkins bars. Then I have an empty Cool Whip. It goes on my coffee every single night, and sometimes a couple of spoons of it. It's a nice treat because after dinner, a lot of times I feel like I need something sweet. In the wintertime, I also warm up berries. Couple of times a week, not all the time. Berries will eventually pudge me up. If I do those 3 or 4 nights in a row, I'll start getting a little bloated. Warm the berries up, put a little bit of sweetener, monk fruit or Splenda, and then Cool Whip. It is quite a treat. Okay, next, my favorite gluten-free bread right now, the Char gluten-free ciabatta. I slice them in half, put them in the air fryer to toast or a toaster, and then I eat chicken salad usually or turkey sandwich meat. Today it was chicken salad and it was delicious. There are 150 calories and 32 carbs. So I'm sure I get enough carbs. I can go the rest of the day eating just no carbs, and I've gotten a healthy amount of carbs for myself. I have to have some carbs. If I don't have carbs, I start feeling dangerously ill. With a foggy head, erratic moods, it's bad. So I always make sure I get some carb. I have an empty Coffee Mate. This is the king of the processed food, but I love the Coffee Mate, so I have it in every cup of coffee I have, pretty much. So I sometimes do the cream, but that will definitely add pounds if I do it too often. Then I have my Folgers decaf. That is my favorite decaf of choice. I have an empty Velveeta. I keep queso, which I'll put that recipe down below. If you don't know what queso is, it is a melted cheese dip. And I will put it on top of taco soup, bean and meat casserole. I'll put all those recipes down there. I will dip gluten-free chips in it. I will pretty much do this on anything. Eggs, it is just really delicious. My favorite processed cheese is Velveeta. Okay, next, I have a sharp cheddar and an empty Jimmy Dean sausage. This is what I use to make keto sausage balls that are delicious. No one can tell the difference. I'll put those down below. I make a double recipe of that and keep them in the fridge. And you can freeze them. Okay, next I have a Nacho Nation Bonitos. And I liked these pretty well. I also went through 2 others that I don't think I have here. And that is the sweet chili is my absolute favorite, and I like the hint of lime. But I love all of these. And I will say that all of the crackers and chips and everything I'm talking about, none of those are low carb. They're gluten-free, but they're definitely not low carb. These have 14 grams of carbs. They all have carbs. I'm very conscious of how much of these I eat. Then I have the Kona Vanilla Macadamia. This is a great coffee. It is delicious. It's one of my favorite morning coffees if I want to treat myself. Next, I have the Sweet Kale Superfood Salad. I picked these up at Walmart, and I keep about 5 of these, and I eat about half the bag. I put hamburger meat on it, like warm hamburger meat, and then nutritional yeast. And I usually do ranch for no carb or Thousand Island if I need a little extra carb. I don't use the packet of cranberries and seeds in this. I don't want the extra carb. And salads are already so many carbs and calories. So I don't add the extra cranberries. And I don't eat those every night because salads will start kind of bloating me. But I do love those. Then I have Bonafide organic beef bone broth, and I like this one and the chicken. I will tell y'all, these are very pricey. I think they're $8 a bag, and sometimes I do the whole bag in one sitting. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to sometimes do this and then maybe sometimes a powder. But during the winter with cold and flu season going around, and if you have any other health issues or just anything where your body's really fighting itself, I just don't know how this could not be good. I probably should make my own. If I'm going to really make this a habit, I probably should learn to make my own bone broth. And if you know how to do that, put that down there. Maybe I'll start doing that if somebody will teach me. Okay, then I have a carton of eggs, 18. I will tell you, I have not been eating a lot of eggs lately, mostly chicken salad and turkey in the mornings, but I do these a couple of times a week. Usually an egg and a white or 2 eggs, because they have good collagen in them, and eggs are just really good for us, so I love having an egg. Then I have an empty bag of sweet potatoes. I love to have sweet potatoes just sliced up, drizzle olive oil on them and sea salt, and put them in the oven. My niece does that and gave me that idea. So I started doing it, and I really love that. I can eat sweet potatoes pretty much every night of the week, and if I thought about it, I would. I can do sweet potatoes really well. Then I have an empty riced cauliflower, and I love this to sneak extra vegetables in because I have such a hard time getting my veggies. I just have a hard time getting my veggies. So if I have any kind of meat, I'll have this, and then I'll put nutritional yeast or Parmesan or just butter and salt. It's delicious, and the texture is like rice. I really depend on the riced cauliflower to get me some veggie. Then I have an empty craisins, and I get a tiny handful of these before I get on the bike to help with my blood sugar. Sometimes I mix a little nuts in there. And these are the low sugar ones that one of you girls told me about, and I love them. I have an empty Deli Fresh cracked pepper turkey, and this is what I eat for breakfast many mornings. And if I saved all of these, I'd have about 10 of them over a couple of months. It's just a handy, fast breakfast. Okay, then I have a Blue Diamond lightly salted almond, and I will eat these anytime I need a little snack and to really fill myself up. A handful of these and some coconut milk that I'm drinking right now. It's great to help me get through the rest of the day, or these with a little handful of craisins before cardio. Then I have the organic stevia pure, and I haven't replaced this, but I'm going to. It does have a little bit of a stevia bite that I'm not a fan of. So right now I'm doing monk fruit, but I did like that. The stevia bite is minimal. I can handle it, and it's healthier than a lot of other alternatives. Then I have an empty Jif peanut butter. I love a giant spoonful of this on a plate with an apple sliced up with salt. I'll either grab nuts or a spoonful of peanut butter, kind of just whatever I'm in the mood for, and that fat really helps me get through to dinner. Then I have an empty unsweet coconut milk that I've had in about 5,000 videos. This is just great filler. A lot of calcium, just really good to get the calcium and not a lot of calories. And so I just really love it. It's just a great filler. Okay, I went through a blackberries. In the wintertime, I go through a lot of berries because, again, I warm them, put sweetener and Cool Whip on them, and they're like dessert. But, again, I'm careful with those because berries are one of those that will set off my appetite and bloat me. Then I have a gluten-free crispy sea salt Milton's crackers. And these are probably my go-to gluten-free cracker. And I just really like them. They're really delicious. That's what they look like. I dip them in queso. I eat them with taco soup, any kind of Mexican food. They're just really good. Then I have an empty bacon, and I'll tell y'all, I don't eat just a whole lot of bacon. I just don't think about it, and I get lazy, and I like fast breakfast. I just don't do that much bacon. I probably go through one of those every 2 months. Then I have a Duke's mayonnaise for my chicken salad that I'm obsessed with, or egg salad, or coleslaw. They're always made up and in there, just staples. That chicken salad is just good protein to start the day with. And the coleslaw is always a nice, sweet addition if I have a sweet tooth. Then I have a V8 low sodium. I just have the hardest time getting my vegetables, so many days I have started drinking one of these. My mom told me my brother was doing that, and I was like, what a great idea. I know there's better ways to get my veggies, but I'm not going to do it. So I've started doing the V8, and I really like that. Okay, then I went through a tricolor coleslaw. I probably went through about 20 of those. Again, I always have the coleslaw made. Okay, then I went through a Bragg's apple cider vinegar, and I put a tablespoon, or I just kind of pour this in my water in the morning, and then sometimes at night, I can tell you this actually works. When I don't do this, I get actual indigestion where I feel like I've got air stuck. And when I do this, I don't get that. This helps me so much. I never forget it. Okay, then I have an empty bread and butter pickles. I eat a bunch of these, and these are high carb. So if you are keto or low carb, you probably will not want these, but they are delicious. And I eat these with a lot of things. Anything that's salty, this is a great addition to it for the sweet. Then I went through a Trader Joe's nutritional yeast, and I have another one going right now. That helps me stay calm so much that I eat it by the spoon before bed. I love that. It is chock full of B vitamins, and it really does help to calm me down, to keep me calm. Okay, I went through an Alive multivitamin. I love this because, again, I feel like it helps me get my vegetables because it's got orchard fruits, garden veggies, daily greens blends. I never miss it. Between this and my V8 and my riced cauliflower, I figure I get a lot more vegetables than I would be getting, and I do eat some. I just don't feel like I get enough. So I love this. Okay, then I went through little tomatoes, these little grape tomatoes, and I love these just to get those and just pop them when I'm eating my eggs. They're kind of sweet, like candy, like a little vegetable candy. And then I have a baby carrots. Ted and Violet love those little baby carrots. And then I have an empty Famous Dave's pickle spears. These are kind of hot bread and butter pickles, and they are delicious. They are very high carb though. Like maybe, hold on, I'll look. I think 6 per spear. 6 grams of carb for 1 pickle spear. So I eat these sparingly, but they're delicious. Okay, and that is all of my kitchen empties. Y'all be sure and go over and visit Elle and see what she has been eating in her kitchen. And that's all I have for you. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave comments and questions down below, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good day. Bye.